We broke a very big story on the website this morning, and we really want to kind of break this down for you because this doesn't just apply to a celebrity, but there is a bigger issue that affects a lot of people that we want to talk about.
Issue. Absolutely.
So Mel B has won a restraining order against her estranged husband, Stephen Belafonte. And under that order, he not only has to stay clear of her and their kids, but also he has been ordered to move out of the family home. She has filed a 20-page declaration where she just lays out what she calls years and years of unspeakably horrible physical abuse.
And she has specific examples that she remembers from as far back as 2007. And you're going to notice a pattern here in a lot of these things. It has a lot to do with good things happening in Mel B's life, and then she says Belafonte then attacking her. The first one she remembers that she notes in the documents is November 2007. It was the Dancing with the Stars finale, which she was on, and she says they were getting ready to go to the studio when he choked her, slammed her on the floor as she was getting ready, and says that he beat me down to let me know he was in charge.
And she says this is the pattern in their lives where she would achieve some level of success and that would trigger a beating where he would say, I'm in control. He would humiliate her and say, look, you're stupid, you are an idiot, nobody respects you, I'm the only reason you're achieving this. And as she achieved, her self-esteem actually went lower.
Another incident was more about jealousy, where she was going in to tape the X Factor in UK, and she was going to be doing a segment with Usher. And he again, Belafonte attacked her, she says, flew into a jealous rage, punched her in the face, split her lip. And when she asked, how am I supposed to go do the show with this injury, he said, you should have thought of that before deciding to flirt and blank Usher.
And so we want to mention one more, but before we do, take a look at these pictures because these are pictures that she ended up posting where she was making all sorts of excuses on why she got bruises. And as you look at these pictures and you're going to see bruises, she told another story about the closing ceremony of the London Olympics.
In fact, that bruise, she says, happened around that time before the London Olympics, the closing ceremony where she performed. He said that he grabbed her, threw her down on the ground, and rubbed her face. That she had rug burns so so bad that it scabbed over.
And one of the things she said was when stuff like this happened, she said, I was wearing Louis Vuitton shoes and I tripped. So she was giving all these excuses to people, but it got so bad that in 2014 she tried killing herself.
Yes, says that she locked herself in a room and took an entire bottle of aspirin. She just wanted to die, and then she reconsidered and realized she needed to get help, and she went to dial. They were in the UK at the time. She dialed 999, and he blocked her from doing that. Threw her in the bedroom, locked the door, and said, "Die, bitch."
And so she ended up going to the hospital. But here's the interesting thing about this: for years and years, people who worked with her, people who were on the sets of X Factor, on all of the shows she did,
right.
They saw these injuries, and they also saw Stephen Belafonte on the set, and a lot of the people are saying that he was crazy, he was threatening, he was abusive, and
clearly they observe those things, that they feel that way about him.
And she lied about the injuries to most people, but they never, as far as we could see, nobody on any of these sets ever call the police.
And Harvey, I mean, we have to assume these facts are, true for the sake of just the pleading here. There's been no proof yet. But one of the things that really struck me is the relationship with the nanny. So he hires a nanny to come and help take care of their kids. He ends up having an affair with the nanny, which is something we've seen in other celebrity couples in the past. But he ends up impregnating the nanny, puts pressure on Mel B to maintain her as the nanny, notwithstanding the fact that she's now pregnant, wants to include the nanny and the new child in the relationship in the home. Mel B objects, so he's accused of having sort of caused the nanny to then have an abortion. but then insist that Mel B continue to have the nanny as their employee for the kids the three kids they do have.
How much was it?
$300,000 over 3 years.
And all the while, every time he wanted her to do something or not do something, including having three-ways with other women, and this is again according to her allegations, he would say, I have sex tapes on you that I recorded of us. I will release these sex tapes. I will ruin your career, and I'll call children's services on you and have your kids taken away. So this is a complete control situation if you believe her. Now, on
the ATF
on Friday night.
Yes, the ATF showing up at the home. We showed you the video. We broke this where they showed up at the home and
looking for a gun.
looking for a gun. In the documents, she says he does have a gun at home. She believes it is a .38 or a .357.
He's not allowed to have a gun because of a domestic violence conviction. So the ATF went in the house. We were at the house yesterday when he moved out, and we asked Stephen Belafonte about some of the allegations. His answers are interesting.
She says the Dance with the Stars finale years ago that you threw her to the ground on the hardwood floor and choked her. What's your response to that?
Keep going. I haven't heard these allegations.
And then also she has said on X Factor, when she was on X Factor, you accused her of having sex with Usher.
Usher's not on X Factor, so how's that possible?
I don't know.
You know what my comment to this is? Actually, you know what? Because that is the mother of my children. I really am really distraught in my brain that how this is going to affect our children. And the depths that she's gone to. That's it. I mean, I'm shocked at those allegations, and that's what it is. Anyway, thank you so much.
So he doesn't say untrue.
He never flatly denies the allegations, as we laid out almost all of them from the documents, and he never says that's not true. It's sort of dancing around it. And he did go on to say that he thinks that there are people on her team who are making her say these things. That seems like a rationalization.
You should know that she kept going back and forth. She would try to leave him and she wouldn't. She would leave him and then she'd go back. And what really pushed her over the edge was her dad's death last month. And apparently Stephen Belafonte did not like her dad, and her dad was essentially saying, if you do anything in your life, do this when I die. And she did.
And she was distraught about that. And according to her, the comments he made when she was so distraught were, if he dies, he dies. Completely unsympathetic to her plight.
Hi, this is Rebecca Bradley from Detroit. Basically, I just want to say, I think she could have been living that battered wife syndrome where they're scared to tell, or she was scared he had dirt on her. But at the end of the day, it's all going to come out. I'm glad that she is overcoming this because, she could have ended up dead, and you can't come back to life once you die. So,
yeah.
Boy, that is well said. Yeah. That is well said. And again, this is so interesting that you have a situation where this woman is so, on the surface, successful and beautiful, and you think confident,
right.
And you just never know. Make sure to subscribe to TMZ Live to keep up to date on the latest entertainment news.
And if you want to keep watching, click on one of these videos right now.